Welcome to the Quiet Onset podcast, the weekly show about film and TV, hosted by myself, Ewan Gruff, and Lachlan Teely. Lachlan,
That's
glad to
me.
have you back. Back. Yes, you are back. I didn't
Back
fire you yet.
again.
Yes, back
Yeah.
again.
Still
To-
working for you without being paid. So yes,
Mhm.
back again. That's what we'll say.
That it's you could see it as my birthday was just like 2 days ago. Maybe you could see working for me as a birthday present. We can keep this. It's a year-long thing that I like. It's a coupon that I can just get from you. It's like you show up each week for about 2 hours and talk to me, and that sounds like a really sad reality. So maybe I can backtrack from there.
That is the reality that we live in, though. However, so no
No.
escaping that, mate.
The only present I did get for myself is like to my left right here, which is a huge new monitor that I got. It's like 4K, and now I'm just like never leaving this chair again because I can do pretty much everything in here. Now I can just
Perfect.
I can do it all, so that's great. And yeah, I also have one other bits of news. Maybe you can see, yo, he's not wearing a beanie. What's up with that? That's crazy.
What?
How could he? How could he? How could he? I got a little bit of a surprise for you, something that Lachlan also hasn't seen yet. So, video listeners, this is for you. Audio listeners, love you to death, but I guess you got to check out the YouTube video for this.
Oh, he's getting a beanie. You got a quiet on set beanie?
Shit, I dropped my headphones. Wait one sec.
What? We've
Yes.
got merch.
I did get myself personalized merch for.
Oh
us.
wait, so it's not like.
Well, it's not
Like-
arriving at your. I just got one. I was testing it out. I'm
Wait,
not
so you didn't
like
get
too
me
happy
one?
with it. No, you're getting one. It's just like I might want to experiment around with the type of hoodie, beanie. I mean, yeah. For the audio listeners who didn't switch, I got a beanie on that says "Quiet on Set." And yeah, it's pretty comfortable. I don't know if I'll leave it on for this recording. I'll leave it on for a bit so you can see it. I don't know. I like it. It's just says "Quiet on Set." That's pretty much it. A pretty minimalist
All
design.
it says. It's literally all it says.
It's just a black
Wait, hang on,
hoodie
it
with
has some
white
fine
font.
print there. A
Yeah.
podcast hosted by Ewan Graff and no one else. Why the fuck did you write that on there as well?
That's my personalized thing. Yours will
yeah,
say
your personalized.
on the back he'll
Fuck
say
yourself.
he's back. But yeah, as each week. And that's not all bits of news that I have on that are on the personal side of things. I got into the Cannes Film Festival, which is super exciting. I'm very much looking
What?
forward to that.
Crazy.
Wasn't expecting to get in. Yeah, I got my flight booked. I got my hotel for the 10 days. I'll be there for the whole entire stay. And yeah, I'll do a bit of coverage as well, probably with Cole from the Oscar Expert, who's also going to be there and we'll be meeting up for the first time ever, which is also something that I'm super looking forward to, meeting up with some new people. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was expecting this to maybe happen in a couple of years, so that it happens this year is super fun. And maybe Lachlan, I can bring you along sometime another year. We'll see.
FaceTime me.
I
Just
will.
FaceTime me.
Yes, yeah,
Say that
just in
say
the
the
cinema.
seat next to you is reserved and just have me sitting on there on your phone.
If I run into, because like in Ghana it's a bit different than I guess most other festivals, because they have this like huge thing that they rent out that has like I think like 8 different cinema screens, and it's only for press and industry people, so like you probably bump shoulders with a bunch of people who you might know from some creative project, so that is a bit terrifying. It's also exciting, but it's also a bit terrifying that you could walk past someone, I think someone who's like, is it Sundance or is it Gun that like Quentin Tarantino goes to a lot? I don't know if he still does that, but like that thought to me is terrifying, that you walk around and it just might be, someone whose films you really enjoy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the personal update corner. Lachlan, I don't know if you have anything shrouding out. Are you going to the moon maybe? Are you taking Pete Davidson space and going to space? A place and going to space?
I bought a new water bottle.
That's That's a bottle for water. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Look
That's
at
right.
me
It's
go.
blue.
Look at me buying a new water bottle. Ewan's going to
Yes.
can. Who the fuck cares? No one gives a shit about your little film festival. Everyone cares the fact that I'm staying hydrated. You know.
That is
Ever since
yes.
buying this water bottle, I have had at least 2.5 liters of water each day.
That is a lot of water. That's a healthy amount of water. So I'm gonna be so underhydrated in Cannes.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna
Joke's
be
on
I'm
you.
just gonna I'm not gonna dry up there. So
You're gonna rub shoulders with Tarantino. I'm gonna keep hydrated.
rub my
Joke's on you,
dry
bro.
shoulder with Tarantino.
Rub your dry shoulder.
But
Disgusting.
All right. Well, on today's show, we got something in store for all of the Potterheads, by the way, with the release of the first look of Hogwarts Legacy. That is a game releasing later this year. We'll be doing our final Oscar predictions, which you can participate in as well, and potentially win a 1-year free subscription to Letterboxd Pro. You can check out the show notes, but we'll get back to that later. Then I got an early review for Micheal Bay's new film Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul II, and also some other releases like Deepwater X and the first season of Human Resources. Finally, with the overarching theme of using your power over someone else, we got reviews for Windfall and Fresh, which are now streaming on Netflix and Hulu respectively. And if you want to skip around to anything specific that interests you, there are, as always, the time codes linked below in the description. Also, don't forget to drop those likes on YouTube, the star reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Feed your cat, drink enough water, and maybe send this show to a friend who's also into film. But yeah, without further ado, Lachlan, let's have a look at this week's news. And first up, I wanted to quickly talk about the recent changes that Netflix is about to undergo, with them cracking down on the password sharing, and in combination with them recently increasing their subscription prices as well. Why do you think, Lachlan, do you have an opinion on this? Why do you think Netflix is doing this now? You know, are they...
Because they want more money.
They want more money. Yeah, they had a big, I guess, start to the pandemic in 2020. They had a huge number of signups. Now those numbers are kind of going back down. You know, not as many people. I guess they're not losing subscribers, so there's no big increase.
I'm a big believer in, if you buy something, you are taking ownership of that product. So like when I buy like my phone, for example, like this is my phone, I want to have the ability to do what I want with that. And it kind of goes the same with like services as well. Like I pay for like Spotify and stuff, and I share that with my family because that's my product, and I pay to have the ability to have up to 6 people. Nowhere does it say, when it says like you can watch up to 4 screens, who you cannot share it with.
Yeah.
Like
but
it
yeah, I guess
says,
I didn't.
Yeah, you can have basic Netflix with 2 screens, Netflix with 4 screens, but it doesn't say who you can share it with, right? It just says you can have 4 screens. If you've got like 6 screens, I don't know what the subscription numbers are that they give you, but like if I pay for the highest end and I can have up to say 6 profiles and each person can watch a stream, who the fuck does it matter that I'm like sharing it with, right? Everyone has the thing where if they share their password too many times, they get locked out because one person's fucking using it, right? And you just text the group chat saying, "Get the fuck off my Netflix so I can watch it. I pay for it, you fucker."
Yeah.
But like, if you're paying for it and it says you can have like 5-6 screens, who the fuck does it matter that you're giving it to? You're paying for that.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering because it says like, you know, technically you could say you have it on 4 screens. And I think it also says specifically that you can stream it on 4 screens like simultaneously. But technically they could change it that you just have it on like different devices, just the number of a device. I think I can't remember which, maybe it was Netflix, but they had you locked at a certain number of devices you could be logged into. It was like 10 or something like that, but maybe I'm confusing services here. But yeah, I don't really get why they're cracking down on this, because like obviously they would want people to sign up for their own Netflix account, so they would increase the number of subscribers. They are not increasing the amount of users because like of password sharing. I don't know if this is the best way to go about it. It feels a bit like desperate and not, I guess, as user friendly as you try to want to be in these streaming wars. But like, can you see Netflix coming out of these streaming wars alive, or do you think they'll go
Netflix
under
will
in this new
maintain its
age?
crown for sure because it's always had such a large catalog of both
Mm-hmm.
really good classics and also very good originals. Um, well, I say very good, but like to most people, they're very good. I find most of the Netflix originals to be quite trash, but they're sometimes
Yeah.
quite enjoyable. Um, whether or not they survive, Netflix is kind of here to stay. They are the king for a reason. And that's just because they are putting out some decent stuff. Like they have a good catalog. There's no way I'm canceling my Netflix subscription to get Paramount Plus.
What? What about
Like,
what about Halo? How are you gonna watch Halo, man?
I'm gonna watch Halo. Oh
Yeah.
no! Like I'll get the free trial,
Yeah,
and then
that's
not
yeah, that's
watch
a good
anything
thing.
else.
Yeah, maybe in the wake of also the Marvel shows now being over in the Disney Plus or maybe Hulu side. It's on Disney Plus here, but I don't know if it's in the States. I think they have it more split into like Hulu because we don't have Hulu internationally. Um, but yeah, maybe like in the wake of some stuff leaving Netflix and more companies launching their own services and not as much stuff like landing on Netflix just later down the line licensed stuff as well. They are really relying on their originals, and I don't know if they can keep up the pace of how much they actually spend on these. Because I assume there's not like a huge margin of making a profit when you don't also increase um the subscriber count, and maybe they've hit like a glass ceiling or like the ceiling that they have potentially of people who sign up for it. But we'll see. I think Netflix is also a player that is going to stay around with the Primes and Disney Pluses of the world, and even Apple TV Plus. I think is one that we'll see for a long time. But I guess speaking of Amazon, let's talk about the recent acquisition, or not as recent. It was back in May, but it's now gone through like certain regulations in the EU, and the FTC could still kind of, I guess, interfere with this. But it looks like the MGN acquisition for 8.5 billion for Amazon is going through. So that means that more than 4,000 films and 17,000 episodes of TV are now heading over to Amazon. And with that, uh, series like James Bond and Rocky as well. So Lachlan, you got any thoughts on this?
Well, just another day, another acquisition by another big company that has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Uh, look, I just want one streaming service to rule them all. Like, I saw a meme today where it was four squares. It was what 2012, whatever the day was, and it was like Netflix came out, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this is quite good." And the guy like has like a chest and puts away the Pirate Bay and says, "No, I no longer need you, my old friend." And then it's like fast
Yeah.
forward to 2022, and there's like a bajillion services with like exclusive content, and he like pulls out the fucking Pirate Bay again. It's like,
Yeah.
um, look,
Good day, good
it's a
friend.
we're in a weird time where
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got an exclusive show that's better than the other competitor, and it's a fucking mess of things. But uh, at some point, like someone's gonna take over fucking Sony. Like Disney will buy Sony for some reason, or Microsoft will buy Sony, and Microsoft will then be bought out by Disney, and then Disney will buy the fucking US president, and the US president will then be owned by everybody else. Like it's such a fucking mess that they just want to like take these companies. I don't know if a lot of them are just like absorbing them into it. Like there's Disney and Fox still, like Fox Studios is still a thing, or
Yeah.
like some companies are literally just absorbing them and taking their resources, and just that company ceases to exist anymore.
I think with
Um,
MGN, they probably are more interested in the IP than the structure of the films, but or structure of the company. But I think with Fox, they still are keeping pretty much everything intact, at least as far as I've read about it.
yeah,
They keep a lot of the people around. They still produce their own stuff. It's just under the umbrella of Disney. And yeah, I mean, it's not even just. It's very much in the media entertainment business that mergers are happening, but also in the gaming sphere. You had Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard for 69 billion, nice. And
nice.
then I guess in 2018, AT&T getting Time Warner, but that's I guess like not media, but something that is an other different kind of provider that we're merging. But it's interesting because uh I think there's not too many more mergers, big mergers that can happen. Otherwise, I think it would be ruled against by the FTC for like a monopoly. And there are these rules in place, so you don't have just like one that reigns over everything. But I could see like Sony merging with someone else down the line because they're definitely like compared to Microsoft so much smaller. But
Mm,
we're not a business type of podcast. We'll stay light on this topic, but I think it's super interesting because it shows where the industry is going, and you can just see we're heading towards an era where there's really just again a couple of big like the big five, back in the 40s with the big five studios. We're heading more towards that era where we have more content than ever, but they're going to be under the umbrella of like a couple major really big companies. And yeah, that's it for the news stories this week, and let's have a look at the first trailer for Hogwarts Legacy. Not just a trailer, but actually like a first look at an overview of it. There was like 25-minute video about what this game is about and some of the mechanics. So Lachlan, what was your first impression seeing this game?
yeah, it looks good. I don't have much to say other than I hope the mechanics feel good, like they do in God of War. I just want like the magic to feel like Kratos' axe. That's all I want. So if it feels
Hmm.
good, I'll be happy with that. Other than that, though, I thought the graphics were kind of like, they don't look the
You think so?
best,
I thought
but
it looked really good.
I
Well,
thought it looked
maybe I'm
good, but I
just
just didn't think it looked very like. I didn't think it didn't look. It didn't blow me away. Right? It looked pretty
right.
good. Maybe there's just little
Hmm.
details that I just missed, but I just thought it was like, yeah, it looks good. I just wouldn't say it like blew me away like some other things. Um,
Yeah.
but in saying that, I will keep my judgment positive because I like have wanted an open world Harry Potter style game for a while because I thought it would actually
Mhm.
work. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, apparently there was a leak about this like in 2018 that they were working on this. I had never known about it, never thought about it, but then when it popped up I was like that's really cool because like the more they showed it really was like an open world that is quite big that you can explore, and there are many means of transportation that you can take. So that seems just like super exciting, even if the story is like it didn't feel like there might be a really strong story. It was just, I guess, a threat, and then you get to, I guess, kill a bunch of goblins or whatever it was. That I was like, okay, teach like, I guess in the 1800s, different stuff flies. So yeah, but I mean, it's interesting. The company who does it, Avalanche Software, has made the Disney Infinity games before. That's kind of what they've been doing, and they did some of like the Disney movie games. Oh, when there was a new animated film, they did the game version for that. I think that era is kind of gone, or at least these games never get any like
The
they don't get
tie-in
any
video
tracking
game,
anymore.
man. I love the age of tie-in video games. We should totally do that as like a thing.
That is,
Like, see if we
yeah.
could
If
hunt down the video games and try to play them.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be fun. It sounds like a roll that again thing. When there's like a movie we cover that does have a game, we gotta play the game as well. I think Caravan of Garbage. I think the Weekly Planet they do that sometimes as well. So I like that, but not to copy them, of course. Anyways, that's yeah. I think that's it for Hogwarts Legacy. It comes out this year around holiday season, and I'll probably give it a shot. and I assume you will too. Maybe with the new movie coming out, I think in about 2 or 3 weeks from the Fantastic Beasts franchise, we'll have another reason later in the year to revisit some of the other Harry Potter films. Um, but then let's move on to another trailer, and that being the one for Paris 13th District. Emily meets Camille, who is attracted to Nora, who crosses paths with Amber, three girls and a boy. They're friends, sometimes lovers, and often both. So that's the first look at Jacques Audiard's black and white film set in Paris. I caught this one before at the Zurich Film Festival. So, Lachlan, I just want to hear your thoughts. What impression did you get watching the trailer?
I got art house impressions.
Yes. I think
Yes,
you would
am I
be
right?
on the yeah, you're on the right track there. I think it never goes super deep, but it's definitely like a very
There's
French
sex.
film. Yes, exactly. That's what I meant. It's a French film. There's sex in it and
Thought so.
nudity. And yeah, I think it's
swear a
really
lot.
just like I don't know, because my French is terrible. I don't know if it was just like
They
weird
swear a
French
fair
noises or
amount?
if they actually. I don't remember. I just remember the nudity.
I'm just
No, I
trying to
remember the
imagine
plot line.
what French movies are like.
Right. Well, they are filled with sex. That's the only pinpoint I can
It's
give
in
you.
black and white. That's
It's just a
another thing
lot
that
of
I
sex and
noticed.
nudity, unwarranted, unnecessary nudity, just because you like your body and you gotta be in tune with
An
it. So of
unnecessary
course you
use
gotta
of
be
black and
naked.
white.
Sorry,
An
unnecessarily.
unnecessary use of black and white.
I think it's trying to capture this place, like the 13th district, as well. But the movie's not as much
You're
about
saying that like I
the
know what it
13th
is.
district. It's just like, it's in Paris, and there's just
Never been.
a district that's called the 13th, and
Is it like District
there's
9?
people.
Are there aliens? Oh my god, is this the French District 9?
They do eat snails, but I don't think they're aliens.
Fuck.
Yeah, no. It's just like I don't know if it's on the outskirts of Paris, because I've also never been, but they all live like in a big block. So it's like
Right.
really big houses.
So it's like
that they-
Dredd.
It is exactly like.
Oh
Dredd.
my god, it's like Judge Dredd. Are you telling me this is the French Judge Dredd? Dude.
Yes,
Judge
sure.
Dredd sit in the world of District 9? Fuck, man.
It's more
South
of a love
African
story, I
Judge
believe.
Dredd is like way more intimidating than any Judge Dredd we've ever seen on screen.
But yeah, that's Paris 13th district.
I almost just said, by the way, I had to stop myself from saying it, but I almost said Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, and I almost said Robert De Niro Judge Dredd. I was trying to reference the Stallone one.
Yeah, the Stallone one. I know. I don't know the Robert De Niro one. Maybe that one. But there's a Robert De Niro one?
No, there's
right?
not. But I thought for some reason, it was Robert De Niro. And I was like, no, that's totally wrong. Who the fuck is it?
Yeah, I think Jacques Audiard is a filmmaker that is, I guess, kind of known. I mean, I haven't seen another film of his, but he has worked with Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal, Riz Ahmed, John C. Reilly in The Sisters Brothers before. Maybe that's one that people are most familiar with, because yeah, it is with all of these American actors. But here you got one of the leads from Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Noémie Merlan, who's in it, and yeah, it basically takes a look at these lives that kind of intertwine at some point, kind of loosely, and then they go apart again. It feels like an ebb and flow. It's very artsy in that way. So, but I also thought that the black and white isn't totally necessary. But I think maybe the French version of Dread with aliens, District 9, is probably the most accurate way to describe this movie.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't even need to see this movie anymore. I'm just gonna watch District 9 and Judge Dredd, but I'm gonna watch like one scene, then pause, and then watch another scene from the other movie, and then back and forth.
Interchangeable. It's basically a remake at this point. But yeah, then there's a trailer for Where the Crawdads Sing. Crawdads? I don't know if I'm actually saying that right, but this is based on a
You're
best-selling
gonna say it
book.
with an accent.
I don't want to because
Please do.
you saw
No,
you
just
saw
say it
the
with the
lead. You've seen
accent.
a trailer, right? She does an accent.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. She's British
Do
or
the
she's
accent.
Irish.
Do the
Or is
accent.
she Irish? She's because she's in
Do
normal people.
do the roar.
I
Do the accent.
I don't want to, cause like there's
Please.
video. They can see when I cut away from this. Like, I can okay. Abandoned by her family. I cannot do accents. I'm turning into. I can only do Bane, right?
Oh my god! Did you just make your voice deeper?
Yes. Cause like they're in the south, you gotta use the south part of your body. No, abandoned by her family, Kia raises herself all alone in the marshes.
Are you still doing the accent?
Outside? No, I'm not. I'm not doing an accent. That's just my voice. Alone in the marshes outside of her small town, when her former boyfriend is found dead. Dead. Oh my god! Now I'm consciously thinking about how I say so. Kia is instantly. He's gaslighting me. Kia is instantly branded by the local townspeople and law enforcement as the prime suspect in this murder. And yeah, that is Where the Crawdads Sing. And it is a southern tale. Apparently there's a song from Taylor Swift accompanying this movie.
Hell yeah.
Don't ask me why. Maybe she's read
Best
the
original
book.
song.
Oh, it's a lock already. I mean, if we don't have Billie Eilish,
It's a win.
Taylor Swift is Tyler Swift. No, Taylor Swift is right there.
Tyler?
And Tyler Swift is the brother of Tyler. Imagine, parents are really running out of ideas, and she actually has a secret twin. Maybe
running
that could be like
ideas.
a Disney
How many
original.
kids do they have? Here are their parents running out of ideas. Fuck, we don't know any other names besides Taylor and Tyler. Fuck, name someone else. I don't know. Honey, what's your name? Tyler. Fuck, what's my name? Taylor. Like, that's the only names I can think of.
Tate Swift, maybe also. But yeah, no. Taylor Swift is doing a song for this, and yeah, I'm basically highlighting this because, Daisy Edgar Jones is also in the movie that we talk about later today, Fresh, and yeah, I don't know about this. It didn't to me. To be honest. You liked it?
Are you negative about this? I liked it.
I thought it looked really, really basic. Town's tale, someone murdered.
There's a murder mystery. How are you not excited?
Is it a murder mystery? Because isn't it implied that she
It's like
killed?
Murder on the Orient Express, but it's like murder with the alligator.
Murder. Oh, speaking of alligator, for anyone who's seen X, by the way, I'm not saying more than that, but alligator.
You've seen X already?
I've seen X. I was able to get I'll get to it later. I won't spoil it, but yeah, I won't spoil the movie, but I also won't spoil my review that we'll get to in a couple of minutes. But yeah,
I'm
that's
looking at what you've been watching and you haven't. Oh wait, no, there it is. Okay, no, I see it now.
X is just like
I missed it.
you thought it was a placeholder for something else.
Yeah, I thought it was something
just
else.
X.
Oh, fucking idiot.
Can you solve for X, please? There was no equal sign.
Oh my god, you
the
played the Mario Kart 8 DLC as well? Sorry.
Don't get ahead of.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
First up, we gotta get through the new releases and the Oscar predictions, and then we'll talk about what we've been watching. But speaking of that, releasing on Friday, March 25th, is season 2 of Bridgerton, which I didn't notice, but it was like one of the top 2 or like even highest streamed. Why? It's
Janika's like waiting for this season to come out.
What I have not watched. Are we missing out? Should we be watching this? I mean,
I don't know.
It's about a family of people who are called Bridgerton, and I assume they're rich. I assume it's a period piece, so they have dresses and there's romance probably.
Look, let's just say there's a lot of swearing and a lot of sex. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, in Bridgerton? Oh no! Oh, I thought this was like a tame show. Okay. Well,
no, I'm thinking. The Great. That's the other one I'm thinking of.
Right. So no sex.
Now to think of it, I've only seen like scenes of Bridgerton.
Yeah.
I think I maybe watched one episode.
maybe we are truly missing out. And maybe I'll actually watch it. I doubt it, but I might as well. But you can check that out
Get to
this
the next
Friday.
one. Get to the
And
next
then
one.
Halo season 1
Sorry, I don't do that.
is streaming on Paramount Plus, as we already established. Lachlan has a 5-year subscription deal to Paramount Plus already, and he'll be
I
watching
paid in
that.
advance.
Yeah,
I credited myself with Paramount.
And then also we got season 3 of Atlanta. That's something I've been looking forward to for quite some time. I think it's been 3 or 4 years maybe since we got season 2, and that will be out with its first 2 episodes over on FX. So I'll definitely be watching that, and I can recommend the first 2 seasons as well. I think,
oh my god,
at least
Paramount
here
Plus
it's
is like
streaming
thing
on
is just Halo.
Disney
Sorry.
Plus. Yeah, sorry, it's streaming what?
It literally is like it's just got a picture of Master Chief with his helmet off on the Paramount Plus website.
Yeah, maybe they should rebrand to Paramaster Plus, and it's just like the Master Chief show on a repeat. All the shows just replaced with like a helmet from Master Chief.
No, also we got credit. I paid fucking Paramount like $540 technically if I put myself into credit with them. That's just $8.99 times 60.
Are you committed for 60 months?
I'm committed for that's 5 years.
Fucking 5 years. Damn, that's a lot of money they're getting out of you. It's about as much as I spent in 7 days. By the way, speaking of it, also a film released called called 7 Days, a COVID film about an arranged dating thing that then kind of is, we are locked in here because lockdown, or like one of them has COVID and they're stuck with each other. That's also coming out this Friday. I saw this one already. I can see its charm. I wasn't really charmed by it. I thought it had some interesting choices of how it like goes different about the romance thing. I just wasn't really into it. And then everything everywhere all at once is releasing in limited release over in the States. Hopefully we'll get this one soon as well. I'm very jealous of anyone who's already seen it. And then finally, we got The Lost City. A reclusive romance novelist on a book tour with her cover model gets swept up in a kidnapping attempt that lands them both in a cutthroat jungle adventure. So that's the movie with Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, and apparently Brad Pitt is also in this. I thought they should have kept this on the wraps. I think it would have been a nice surprise, but they put him third billing as well, and like I don't know if it was supposed to be like a cameo thing, but that's that movie, also featuring a lot of CGI. And yeah, it's I guess the big release for this week. But we also got the Oscars happening on Sunday, and yeah, we'll have our coverage about that next week. Speaking of the Oscars, Lachlan, let's now get to our Oscars prediction, and you can play along with us from your comfy seat at home and win a free year of Letterboxd Pro. So there will be a form linked below that you just fill out, and then you can DM this to me directly on Twitter or on Discord. You can also email us, quietonsetpodcast@yahoo.com. Just send it before the start of the ceremony, and you are partaking in this. And yeah, the person who gets the most right will get Letterboxd Pro. But for us, we are playing a different type of game. We'll be playing one that's filled with punishments. And we are not playing how many can you get right, but how many are you getting wrong. Yeah, for every wrong prediction that we get, there might be something that awaits us, a punishment. Lachlan, I remind you to maybe check your mail in the next few days. There might be some stuff arriving, so we can properly do this. But I'm super keen for this. It's gonna be a lot of fun, making a challenge out of it. So let's maybe go through all of our nominees really quickly, or our predictions for the winners, and yeah, go through these one by one. And maybe let's start off with actor in a leading role. So who do you see winning there, Lachlan?
All right, so for a couple of these, I'm going to put down who I think's going to win, but I also want to put down who I want to win, because there's definitely
yeah, you can say that as well.
I think there's someone who's better, but I definitely know that someone else is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So my 3 that I've actually put down, because I think this is probably one of the closest fights that you're going to get, is Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield, and Will Smith. I think those are the 3 that could possibly take it.
Agreed, yeah.
I think that Will Smith is going to take it. Will Smith is going to...
I'm going different.
Will Smith is... You're going different. Oh, shit.
I'm thinking Cumberbatch got in his batch, in his bag. Yes, I think he's taking it.
I think Will Smith is going to get it.
But I personally would love to see Andrew Garfield get it, but I don't see that happening. But
I would like either Cumberbatch or Garfield to get it. But I think it's going to go to Smithy.
Right. Okay. Well, interesting. You want to move on to actor in a supporting role?
Troy Kotsur?
Yes, I also went with him.
That was my like he's gonna win, and I want him to win.
Yeah, he's great in it. I think he's also my favorite out of the performances here, other than Cody Smith McPhee, who's also great. But I think he's lost a bit of steam when it comes to like Oscar, not Oscars, but like getting awards. And Troy Kotsur has just been sweeping, so I think it's pretty safe that he'll take this. Then move on to actress in a leading role. Who do you got locked down here?
I haven't seen her in it, but I've seen a lot of buzz around it. So I think it's going to go to Nicole Kidman. But I want Kristen Stewart to get it.
Yes, I also want Kristen Stewart to get it. I don't think Kidman is taking this at all. I saw all of the 5 films nominated. Lost Daughters, Eyes of Tammy Faye, Parallel Mothers, Being the Ricardos, and Spencer. I think Stewart is the best out of this, followed by Coleman. But I think Chastain is taking it, actually. I think so, yes. But I mean, it's more fun if we don't have the same things picked.
Oh, way better. This is way better.
So many more punishments. We might leak 1 or 2 by the end of our prediction and announcement. We'll see. And then moving on to actress in a supporting role. Who do you have locked down there?
Ariana DeBose?
Yeah, same for me. I think she's a pretty safe bet. All of the other ones, apart from Anjunia Ellis, I'm probably butchering a name, from King Richard, who I thought was also solid, and Jessie Buckley. I think Judi Dench and Kristen Dunst, I don't really see why they are in here, but Ariana DeBose was great in West Side Story. Moving on to animated feature. Who do you see winning here?
It's going to go to Encanto, but I want it to go to Mitchell versus the Machines.
Yeah, I'm a big Flea stan,
so bad.
But I would also go with Mitchell's if I had a choice. I wasn't a fan of Encanto, Luca, or Raya. I think that Flea and Mitchell.
It's gonna go to Encanto though, because it's so popular.
It is very popular. It's not even like, remember Klaus when that came out and that won Best Animated Film, and that was a bit of a surprise. I don't think the Mitchells can pull that this year, although it's, I think, up to the same quality as that film. And then cinematography. I'm picking Dune.
I'm picking Dune,
right? It's
and literally any of the ones that are technical awards, like I've just selected Dune immediately.
I've mostly selected Dune as well.
I also want Dune to win as well. Like, I want them to win, and I think they're going to win. But anything technical, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, Dune.
I gotta say, all of these are very strong, though. I think Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story all have outstanding cinematography. So strong year this year, but it's got to be Dune. And then for costume design, not technically a technical award, do you also see it going to Dune or someone else?
Because I think it's going to go to Cruella.
I agreed. I think that was the only good thing about the redeeming thing about that film. It was crazy, right?
Famous costume designer whose name I don't know because I don't follow
Cruella
costumes at all. But like, yes,
James Cruella was his name. Yes. And then who do you see winning directing? I think she's been sweeping,
Jane Campion.
Campion, yeah, of course. It's got to be Campion. Yeah,
I call her Champion because she's going to win.
Yes, I mean...
I want her to win, but I also think she's going to win. I did have PTA listed. By the way, I'm doing these live. Like, I'm doing these live. Like, I'm looking them as we speak, and I'm ticking them and highlighting them as we speak. Which ones I want. So, yeah.
Look at me being lame and having this prepared.
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog. What about animated feature? I assume a category where you haven't seen any of the films, so it's got to be a bit harder to pick.
Animated feature? Where's that one?
No, documentary feature, sorry. Did I say animated?
Oh, documentary feature?
Yes.
Documentary feature. The only one you've ever talked about is Flea, so I've just decided to do Flea.
Yeah, I've
But
also
I haven't
I've
seen any of these.
I've seen 3 of them. I haven't seen Attica and Ascension yet. I'll try and maybe fit them in. I don't know, but I think this might go to Summer of Soul. That's my pick. I liked Flea a bit more, and I thought that Riding with Fire was kind of meh. I
Well,
didn't really like that one.
Answer this? Can you
But
answer these
it
ones
could also
first,
win.
so I can just copy your answer then, please?
No, you. That's why. I'm making you go first because I feel like you're copying.
Well, I don't know. You might be
Uh,
copying me.
I can screen share. I already have it all ticked. I'm
No,
not
don't bother
diverging
screen
from what I
sharing it.
picked.
I don't
Anyways,
just trust you.
best documentary short subject is just gonna be a toss up. We'll still announce them, but we'll go over them quickly because I haven't seen any of those.
Documentary short subject. Audible.
I just went with the
Leaf
first one and
Info.
put Audible because
Oh,
it sounds
well, I
like it's
wanted-
produced by Amazon. I don't know.
Yeah. The Queen
yeah.
of Basketball. Fine. You know what? Because you said it's going to be Audible, I'm going to do When We Were Bullies.
When We Were Bullies. Okay. Well,
Don't know what the fuck it's about. I can have an
I-
assumption, but I'm doing that one.
WWWB. That's all you gotta know. And we're rooting
World
for
Wide Web
bitch.
boobs. I don't know.
The way that
Don't include
might have
that.
come in, it was something offensive. Like the way we said it and our intonation was like bitch boobs. Now, what do you think is taking home film editing?
Dune. Again, it's just going to be Dune.
Yes, I think that like Tick Tick Boom probably has the most. No,
Man,
Don't
if
Look Up
Don't Look
probably
Up
has
gets
the
a
Don't
fucking
Look Up.
award, I think I might riot.
Because Don't Look Up could potentially, it could be a Bohemian Rhapsody where it's just like the most editing.
I
I guess
will
Tick Tick Boom
fucking
has the
lose
most
my
editing, but
fucking-
like, yeah, I don't know. It's
See, I
gotta
wouldn't
be
mind if
Dune or
it's Tick
Power
Tick
of the
Boom,
Dog.
but if Don't Look Up gets like a fucking Oscar, I think again I might riot. Not like a physical one, like a digital one.
Yeah.
So I don't have the fucking time and effort to
Digital
actually go
riot.
physically somewhere, but I can do it
I think
from
that's
the
already.
luxury and the comfort
Yeah.
of my home.
But yeah, what are you picking for international feature film?
So I've seen 2 of these,
Yeah.
but I think Drive My Car is going to get it. But I think I want Worst Person in the World to get it too. But I think it'll go to Drive My Car. Why? Because it's a better made movie.
It's the one that's
And, yeah.
also nominated for Best Picture, so it just kind of makes sense that it would probably
is
go.
it? Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah, but also Flea, I guess, in animated feature, is like nominated 3 times, in a total. But I don't see Flea winning it at all. I think this is a pretty safe lock for Drive My Car. And what do you think about makeup and hairstyling? Who do you think is taking it?
No.
Dune, I think, is too subtle for this. I think Oscars really
Tammy
like
Faye's got
something
that
flashy.
a lot of makeup on Jessica Chastain, doesn't it?
Yeah, she looks like an alien the way that she sticks out to the side.
All right,
but
let's do Eyes of Tammy Faye then.
I don't think it's great makeup.
Oh,
it's just a
wait.
lot of makeup, but I
Coming
also
to
picked Tammy
America.
Faye. I liked it. I would love it for it to go to Coming to America. I didn't like the film, but the makeup was pretty fun.
All right, Eyes of Tammy Faye, and I want it to go to Dune.
Yeah, it's get Dune all
Why?
of the awards.
No idea. Oh wait,
Uh,
Dune just for Skarsgård.
Yeah, of course.
My Ruckus, my Dune.
And then for original score, who do you see winning? We got Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto,
got the
Parallel
Zimmer.
Mothers, and Power of the
The
Dog.
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, yeah. I think
Hans
he's the
Zimmer
front runner, but
for
I
Encanto.
would love to. I don't know. I don't think they would go Encanto.
It's going
But
Dune.
maybe
It's going to Dune.
I'm picking Power of the Dog just because I really liked
The fuck is
Greenwood
Parallel
score.
Mothers?
I
Did miss
I
this
liked it
one?
more in Spencer. Like he technically could have 2 nominations, and they did that with Souls. So I'm a bit bummed out that they nominated him for Power of the Dog because I think his
Parallel
Spencer
Mothers
score is
that
even
one.
better. And yeah, Parallel Mother is also super good. But yeah, don't give it to Don't Look Up, please. Just don't. Although the score there is great.
Don't Look Up, I will fucking riot.
Well, the thing is, like the person who does the score for Don't Look Up, wait, let me quickly look this up. Don't Look Up. I'm looking it up.
Although Don't Look Up has that really good Bon Iver song right at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I like about that movie.
Yeah, but I guess
saved
that
it
wouldn't be
immediately to
original
my
score.
fucking-
That would just be the soundtrack. But yeah,
Yeah,
Nicholas
I don't care.
Britell, who's one of my favorite score people. What do you call them? Fuck, composers.
Composer?
Having a stroke mid
Score
recording.
person? Nah,
Yeah,
score
no.
person.
I mean, I wouldn't
An
mind if
umpire?
this actually went to Don't Look Up. Yeah, to him as a composer
What?
because he has
Did you
done
just
some
fucking say
great
that?
stuff.
No. Take
Yes.
that back. Redact that.
No, I'm
Redact
not taking
that.
it back because he's
You're
great.
gonna-
It's not for
You're
Don't
the
Look Up.
reason
It's
there's
for
going to be a
Nicholas Patel.
revolution right now.
But yeah, what do you think about the original song? No Time to Die, right? It's got to be
No time
easy.
to die.
Billie
Yeah, that
Eilish
one.
could never. Yeah, and then
Billie Eilish.
let's save Best Picture for the end and move over to production
okay.
design. I'm taking Nightmare Alley. I'm going with the outlier. I think Dune is probably a front runner here. Again, maybe. I don't know. Who are you picking?
Do I do it? I might go. This is production design. I might go
Tragedy of Macbeth.
Tragedy of Macbeth.
I would. Yeah, I think it could go to Nightmare Alley. That's why I'm picking it. But I think the best production design should go to Macbeth.
Nightmare. No, because if Nightmare Alley took place entirely at the circus, I totally would, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And it just went to standardized, just normal looking, like 19 whatever age it is sets. But like Tragedy of Macbeth looks sick every single shot. Dune as well, but there's a lot of like digital enhancements, and I honestly don't think it's that great. So I would give it to Tragedy of Macbeth. I don't need to explain my answer to you. Why did I explain it? I don't give a shit. Tragedy of Macbeth. I'm not explaining it to you. Move on.
A couple fast ones. Animated short film. Sticking with Robin because it's the one on Netflix that's cute. So probably
Robin. I thought
Robin.
might have been like a. I thought that might have been like a typo because they wrote it twice.
I've seen
it's on
Bestia.
The windshield wiper. I'm doing that one. That one sounds crazy.
Windshield wiper. That's funny. I think Robin is a safe pick. Then live action short. I don't think it's going to win, but I like the director. Hold. I did an interview with him. I'm going with The Dress. But I think The Long Goodbye probably has the best shot because I think it's the one with we support
The Dress. I changed my mind.
We support The Dress. All right.
Please hold.
We support international Polish films. Get
The Dress.
It today-ish. Yeah. We'll stick with The Dress.
I'd like to see this one then.
And then for sound, we got Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story, and it's a technical award. Of course, it goes to Dune, right? Got to go to Dune.
My Dune.
Yeah, just for Skarsgård alone, just for his
just
voice
for Skarsgård, just that one line.
And then again, another award for Dune, visual effects. I think easy one, right?
I wrote Free Guy.
For that sequence when they have Captain America.
I swear to God, if Free Guy wins, I will riot.
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna have an event.
It has to be Dune.
If there's any upsets. And then the 2 screenplays award. First up, adapted screenplay. We got Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and Power of the Dog. I'm picking the one that I kind of want to win. I'm gonna pick Drive My Car. Because I really liked the screenplay that was in a foreign language, so I couldn't read it. But like just knowing what the movie does, I think it's a great stuff. What are you going with?
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
But I think it's a toss up between The Power of the Dog and Coda, to be honest. But I'm just sticking. I'm just rooting and predicting Drive My Car all the way.
All right, I'm gonna say The Power of the Dog.
Safe bet. Yeah, I think you probably won't be punished for that, but I will. Anyways, original screenplay. We got Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. Who do you want to win?
I want Licorice Pizza to win.
Yeah, I think that's also what's going to win. I just don't want Belfast or Don't Look Up to win, or even King Richard. If it doesn't go to Licorice Pizza, I want it. I would really love Worst Person in the World.
If it doesn't go to Licorice Pizza, you will riot?
If it goes to... No, I want Licorice Pizza, and Worst Person in the World would be fine.
But if it doesn't win, you'll riot?
That's my only riot thing. If it goes to Don't Look Up, I won't riot for King Richard, but that's not going to happen. But if it goes to Belfast or Don't Look Up, I'll riot.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yes. Can you put into your notes that you can write on it? Just say Ewan riots, and you have to riot count so we can keep track of when we'll riot. Anyways, the last big one, the big Best Picture, we got 10 nominees here: Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. So, Lachlan, who do you think will take home the big Oscar trophy?
Best Picture.
And the Best Picture winner is...
I would love to see a number of these movies win, because I think a lot of them are quite good. It's actually a really hard one this year, because I really liked every single one of these movies.
Apart from Don't Look Up?
No, including Don't Look Up.
Right, of course. So would you
but
riot
after
if
I
Don't
watched
Look
it,
Up?
I rioted.
Right, okay. It's just what the movie does with you, it's
okay,
kind of...
I'm crossing...
It's a political statement, so it gets you amped up.
I'm doing the power of seduction? No, reduction. No. Traction? No.
Deduction,
what's the
power of deduction?
No, deduction? That's the one.
Yeah.
Seduction. Where the fuck did I get? I'm gonna fucking... Jesus Christ. All right, get rid of that one.
That's Nightmare Alley for you, the power of seduction.
Get rid of that one.
Yeah, I'm going
movie.
with Power of the Dog, by the way, just because
movie.
I think it's the obvious choice.
Fuck, this is difficult. Okay, fuck this movie. Dune can go. Man, I'm stuck with Licorice Pizza and Power of the Dog.
Licorice Pizza would be such a long shot.
I'm doing Power of the Dog. I don't want to drink hot sauce.
Yeah, by the way, maybe that's the leak. So that's our predictions. There'll be a link below, by the way, a to the file if you want to have an overview. And also there you can download this Oscar play along ballot as well and send that to us.
If Don't
by
Look
Sunday
Up wins Best Picture,
anything. Yeah, I think that's like not happening. Then we gotta take a week-long break from the podcast.
I might quit.
It's just like
if Don't Look
lost.
Up gets Best Picture, I'm quitting.
All right, we'll lock that one in.
In.
We one of the punishments is maybe we can give a sneak peek of what we're doing next week. We'll have a couple of punishments ready to go on a wheel that will spin. And every time one of us gets one wrong, we have to spin the wheel and do the thing that it lands on. And one of the punishments is that we have to eat hot sauce. And I ordered really, 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 really hot sauce to Lachlan's place. So
joke's on you. I have my Nando's extra hot, so I'm gonna be prepped. I'm gonna have Nando's beforehand, so I know that the hot sauce. I'm gonna be prepped for it.
And I'll just take sweet sour sauce and pretend it's hot. I'll have my acting chops.
Bitch.
No, I still haven't. I don't have my hot sauce yet because I can't get the same one as you. So I have to find one that's like equally hot. But we'll see. Maybe it doesn't even land on it, and we don't have to do it because there's going to be like 12 different things that we do. Maybe we can leak another one. We have to reenact a movie scene. And it's like a random movie scene that we got to reenact. That's one of the punishments. But there's a couple other ones.
We're gonna have a random spinny wheel for a random spinny wheel.
Yes, random spinny
Crazy.
spin.
Crazy.
And we'll see. All right, let's move on and get to what we've been watching. Lachlan, what have you been watching?
I haven't watched anything.
Great.
It's not my job to watch anything. You're not my mum. Shut up.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just moving on. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No, I'm not even disappointed you got your water bottle and that's all you needed this week. I got a couple of things that I'll run through. First up, I guess something that's not movie related. I did get the Mario Kart 8
why
DLC.
do you have a whole fucking document dedicated just to what you've been watching? It's 17 pages. I'm kidding.
Yes, I wrote a full-on essay on why the Mario Kart DLC sucks. But TLDR, there's 48 tracks already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. And instead of making a new game announcing Mario Kart 9, they recently announced that they'll add another 48 tracks to an existing game in like 7 different DLC packs or 6 different
if it's
DLC
not broke,
packs.
don't fix it.
The thing is with these new tracks, because I played them all.
No.
I played them once, but they're so dog shit. Like they're all like taken. Three of them are taken from the mobile game. There's two from the
There's a
3DS. There's one
mobile
from the
game?
N64, one from the Wii, and one from the GBA. And then there's no, not even the newest one isn't even. Yeah, there's one track that's basically okay, Ninja Hideaway. The rest is really, I don't know. I just didn't like the tracks. Coconut Mall is back. I don't know if they were like, oh, there's a
I
meme.
didn't
Let's
know you
do
could play
that.
Mario Kart on your phone.
Yeah, and you were able to do that for years now, and it's
I'm
yeah.
getting it.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I don't think you have. Do you have Mario Kart 8? Do you have that game?
I played it, haven't, don't own it. I think I
Right.
traded it
Okay,
in.
but yeah, but I don't know. It was a bit weak. I would just like to get a new game, please. And I just wanted to rant a bit about that. This is a bad idea. They should have done something else and actually didn't do a new game. And it's until the end of 2023. They'll just be doing DLC, so we probably won't see a new game for years. Anyways, I saw Micheal Bay's new film Ambulance in theaters. The embargo has now lifted. It's out here in Switzerland, but I think in the States it won't hit theaters until April 7th. I'll definitely won't spoil anything here for you, but what I can say is that the movie is basically the closest we've gotten yet to a GTA movie. It feels very much like
It's
GTA
that
5
good,
or
huh?
GTA 4. It's just like the cops just like chase you, and then they just crash for no reason. And it feels like every time a
Perfect.
police car crashes, I don't know if it was Liberty City or no, which one was it? Where a certain amount of cars had to crash, police cars, and then they would stop chasing you. It feels a bit like that in this one, where it's just like a so prolonged chase overall that could end like 20 different times, but it actually doesn't. But yeah, it's fun if you got a couple of friends around you and a beer in your hand and you're just enjoying your time. But it's an incredibly dumb movie overall. And yeah, just dumb action fun. So if you enjoy that, then I guess you already are in for the new Michael Bay film. Then I saw X, the new Ty West film, an A24 horror film that already has a prequel in the works, and it is about a group of young people. I was about to say teens, but they're definitely not teens. They're older, and they're shooting an adult film in a remote cabin, and are greeted by like two. An elderly couple, and yeah, there's some shenanigans that go on. They start to film that film, and then it becomes a slasher film. And I think it is one of the closest things I've seen to actually replicating what made the Texas Chainsaw Massacre great, the original one. Since then, I think that A24 really um, it gets a lot of like the genre stuff that they do, especially in horror. And I think this is a super entertaining film that has a fun cast, a fun narrative, fun kills. It's earning its like X in the name. It is very gory as well. So super entertaining film whenever it releases, where you can watch it probably at a midnight screening. Go see it. It's worth your time. And then I saw just quickly Rescued by Ruby. I'm trying to watch as many like Netflix original films this year again. I don't know why I do this like each year. I set this goal that I can never um actually achieve. And Rescued by Ruby is a film with Grant Gustin, the guy who was in Glee and is currently still The Flash. And it's about a guy who wants to join the K9 unit. So that's like when you train a dog and then you go look for people when buildings fall or whatever. I don't know. And it's just like an underdog story, literally an underdog story. And it's pretty sweet, but I mean, you get what you expect. And then also saw Deep Water, the thriller with Ana de Armas and the Batman. Oh, what is he called? Ben Affleck. Ben Batfleck. Batfleck. He was in this, and this movie was a train wreck because you got two characters that you cannot like. They are so deeply unlikable and just pricks and assholes. And not in the sense of like, we talked about that it kind of looks like a Gone Girl copy. Uh and it pretty much is a bit like that, but it has no layers at all. It is very literal in what it's doing. There's no real thriller aspect or murder mystery to it. It's just pretty boring, so skip out on this one. And then finally, I saw Human Resources, the Big Mouth spin-off. Lachlan, did you have a chance to catch a bit of that series? Did you have a look into it?
I haven't watched anything.
He's been locked out because it's been
I've
password
literally
sharing with
only
so
watched
many
what I
people
needed to
on
watch
Netflix.
today. I watched
Right.
2 movies this week, and that's the 2 that we're covering today. And
You
now I'm
know,
not going to watch
just
anything because I'm playing Mario Kart.
next week I'll talk about Mario Kart Tour. Oh my
And I'll
god.
be like,
No,
these fucking new maps on this DLC suck. Like, they've already established 48 maps, and they're going to add another 48 maps, and this is fucking... Sorry.
yeah, I could see myself in the. It sounded a bit ridiculous. Ranting about tracks in a game, but Human Resources is the story that focuses more on the monsters, and there's like plot lines and episodes that are mainly focused on the monsters and their like universe. Those are the weakest one of the show, and then there's like 2 episodes where the focus is more on the humans. Those are the strongest of the show. I don't know if they can connect the dots. Maybe they should make a show about the humans interacting with the monsters. Maybe that could actually be a hit. But yeah, I don't see why we got this. It's not really good. It has good moments and it has that like big mouth charm where it can be really raunchy, and after like something that's emotionally resonating with you, they just come with a really lazy and silly joke that that actually makes you laugh. But it just didn't establish itself enough that I can, full-heartedly say, yeah, we need a show just about the monsters, because like they definitely need the human connection to actually make this work. But yeah, that's it for what we've been watching this week. So let's get to the first movie we're talking about today, and that is Windfall.
I owe you something, right?
You owe a debt to a hell of a lot more people than just me.
Try being a rich white guy these days. It sucks. Do you want to be me? Is that it? You're pathetic. I don't think you're going to do anything. Ever.
A man breaks into a tech billionaire's empty vacation home, but things go sideways when the arrogant mogul and his wife arrive for a last-minute getaway. So we'll have a non-spoiler review for this film. It is out on Netflix right now, and it's the latest film from Charlie McDowell. Currently on Letterboxd, it's sitting at a 3, on IMDb a 5.7, and on the Metacritic a 52, and it comes in at a length of 92 minutes. So, yeah, Lachlan, what did you think of the film just generally? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed my time. That's all
I
I've
did
got
as
to
well.
say.
I think the story has an interesting premise that it executes on like quite well for at least the first half, or even up to like the end of the second act of the film. Without spoiling it, I wasn't a fan of how it ended. Although I could see the characters going where they actually ended up going, it didn't resonate with me that we went into that direction. I thought that the rest of it was just kind of super interesting because it was very much the messiness of this whole encounter where you have a robber who's robbing a house, not expecting them to come home, and then like the way they go about in a very civil way for most of it to like resolve this issue, because the billionaire could not give less of a fuck about like the amount of money that this guy wants from him. And like that dynamic was interesting to follow. I think they did that really well, and especially Jesse Plemons is just like always fun to see on screen.
I completely agree. I think that the premise of this film is awesome. Like, the whole probably first act of this film gave me a lot of a vibe of my own film style telling. Like, I had a lot of like, oh, I see a lot of my own way of telling stories in this so far. Like a lot of the way things were shot, way things were revealed, dialogue options and interactions between the characters. It was kind of like, this is kind of like what I go for when I make my movies. However, the whole last part of this film can just go get fucked. So originally, like probably by the start of the end of the first act, I was pretty much sitting at like a 4 or 3.5 stars for this film, and then it started losing, and it just started going down a little bit, which was unfortunate, but it's kind of what happened. I think the ending is trash. I think it comes up too quickly. I think that the ideas and the themes revealed are kind of just like, yeah, okay, I get it. And I think like for the people who are in this, like the actual actors themselves, I think Jason Segel, Lily Collins, Jesse Plemons, they do an incredible job, including Omar Levar. I think he's like Levar, whatever I think his name is.
Gardener.
The gardener. Everyone does a great job, and their characters, no matter how big or small, play a cool role. And I think they're all very interesting, especially the main three, who are known as Nobody, Wife, and CEO.
That's also the way, like, speaking of things, how you would do it. I feel like you would name your characters something like that.
Fuck giving them names.
Yeah.
Fuck giving them names. Just give them a title, and that's all they're known as. So no, I do enjoy this film. Like overall, I did enjoy myself throughout. I think the interactions are great between them all, and how they react to each other, and the overall evolution of their characters. But I just think that the story gets a bit too muddled and doesn't know really where it wants to go. And by the end, you're kind of just sitting there going, "Oh, okay, that's how it's gonna end." All right, let's move on. Next movie. So that's my impressions.
I think that for the movie to work better, I think Jesse Plemons' character should have been like a less interesting overall. But I caught myself being, maybe it was just Jesse Plemons, but I was the most interested in him as a person. But the movie was then way more concerned about Lily Collins' character and Jason Segel's character. From nobody, we don't get much of what he's about. So the movie is more concerned with, I guess, the power dynamics that come with it, without like calling out someone specifically. You just implied that, with being a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, that you affect someone's life, like in a bad way, in like multifacetedly, like in various different ways. And I think that like that part of it, that story, that he's so fixated on like specifically what caused this, because his approach to going about it is so much problem fixing, and he's trying to like stay in control of it, and like even micromanaging his own like hostage situation in a sense. So like that aspect was super interesting, like the thrilling nature of it, because you don't really know what Jason Segel's motivation is, other than he just wanted to rob the place. But you never get a clear telling of how far he's able to go if he's forced into a corner. And I think like with that aspect, you could have done something more interesting, I'd say. So I was also a bit let down by the end. I still thought the movie overall was quite sick. Like I was on a 4 out of 5 for most of the film, and then just by the end of it, it fizzled out, and I didn't like the ending. I went to a 3.5 out of 5. I might even go a bit lower, but I still had a good time. I think the aspects early in the story that are like tension filled, and like also the humor really landed for me. So yeah, I think it's still worth your time, but you're probably not gonna like the ending as much. But yeah. Is there anything else we should talk about with this film? I think it's pretty simple story overall. It's a simple recommendation or a simple review for it. So I think we can move on to the next film.
You want my score, or should we just move on?
I think didn't you say you gave it a 2.5 out of 5? Or did you land any lower on it?
No, I didn't say what it was. You're just moving on.
Oh shit! I thought you said
you forgot about me.
You said it started at a 3.5.
No, I said it started at a 3.5 to a 4, and then it got lower. but I didn't say exactly
Oh
what
no,
score.
where did it arrive at? Sorry, I thought you already gave your score, and from,
Nah, fuck
from
it.
there I took.
Nah,
from
fuck
there
it.
I took you
Nah.
already. I can see it in the show notes.
I
It's a
might quit
2.5 out
early.
of 5. I'm just
Yeah,
leaking.
you get to see it early, but no one else gets to see it. That's why I don't write it in the show notes sometimes, Ewan.
You want to keep up
completely
the
forgot.
suspense. No, you want to keep up the mystery, and maybe
Yeah.
that's what they lost in their relationship as well in the movie. So it all ties back, and let's talk about some failed relationships or dating attempts in the new movie Fresh. Frustrated by
Wait, seriously?
scrolling.
I didn't even get to say my score. What the fuck?
You said you didn't care, so I'm moving on. You're giving it a
No, fine. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. You should go watch it because it's entertaining, but don't expect too much. Now you can fucking move on.
So I just really wanted to move on really fast to get to Fresh. I'm sorry. Are you giving it a fresh or a rotten rating?
Which one?
Are you giving it a fresh or a rotten
Windfall?
rating? Windfall.
I'm
Yeah,
giving
that
it,
would be.
I'm giving it a Metacritic score of 50. How's that? Shove your rotten score.
That's fair enough. Still trying to get Rotten Tomato accredited, by the way. Let's. Just...
By the way, Ewan gave
Yes?
Fresh a 4 out of 5. There you go.
I was that was.
That's what you get. That's
I
what
just
you
scrolled
get.
down. I just scrolled down so I could leak yours, and jokes on me, he didn't write it down. So fuck. Frustrated by Lachlan and scrolling through dating apps only to end up on lame, tedious dates, Ewan or Noah takes a chance by giving her number to an awkwardly charming Steve after a produce section meet cute at the grocery store, and that is Fresh from Mimi Cave. A movie that's currently sitting at a 3.5 on Letterboxd, a 6.7 on IMDb, and a 66 on Metacritic. It's currently streaming over on Hulu and comes in at 114 minutes. So we'll have a non-spoiler section of this review, and then we'll get into spoilers as this movie is already out. Been out for a couple of weeks now, so go check it out if you want to hear our full thoughts, but we'll keep it spoiler-free for the start of it. So yeah, what did you... I mean, I gave it a 4 out of 5, so I liked it.
You gave
but
it a 4 out of 5.
Did you
liked
like it? Low-key? Yeah, no, did you like it? Lachlan?
Yeah,
what's your
No, I
rating?
did. No, I did. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. My
Right.
rating will stay quiet because I'm saying it at
Okay.
the end. I'm going to hide it.
Fair enough.
Overall, this is a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's my favorite movie of this week. I only watched 2. Not a fucking hard race, but, it is better, in my opinion, than Windfall. In fact, I
Great.
kept messing up Windfall's name before we did this. I was like, what the fuck was that movie called again? I thought it was
Yeah.
like Wildfall or something else, but I just didn't get it. Fresh
Yeah.
is easy.
Mhm.
I remembered it. Why? Because not only is it an easy title to remember, but it's a very memorable movie. Like, I do remember
Very
a number
memorable.
of things that happen in this film, and I go, fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's like, that's crazy. It's the same reaction
That's
here.
crazy.
I think it's a movie that like really works well if you just read that log line and don't read anything else about it. Go in fresh without knowing stuff about it, and I think you'll have the best time with it. And we'll really stay spoiler free for the start of this, to not rob you of that experience. But what did you think about the performances in the film? Did you thought they sold you on what they were going for?
They were all excellente good.
Yeah.
Both Daisy Edgar Jones, Sebastian Stan, they nail it. I love Sebastian Stan with passion, and Daisy Edgar Jones as well, I should say.
Yeah.
They're both really great actors and actresses. Yeah.
Feels like you're reading a political statement the way you're saying it. But yeah, I agree with you there. I think the charm is up to 11, especially with Sebastian Stan, which is like makes him stand out a bit. Because like he's like there's something up with this guy in a sense that you're like he's creeping me out a bit by how charming he is. And then yeah, there's a couple of side characters as well that I think are also excellently cast, and the minor roles that they play are very well done. And did you think like the whole premise of like dating culture as the backdrop is that important to the film overall? Maybe you can already kind of hear where I'm leaning towards, because I just think it's a super fun film that you don't really have to read into. Like, it's not trying to hone in on a message like too hard. I think it's just if you look at it from that way too much. I don't think it gives you a lot of substance, a lot of protein, but it I think it's just a really fun, crazy movie. You know.
I think that you can read into it, but the less
Yeah.
you do, the more fun you're gonna have.
The more fun you're gonna
Because
have, yeah.
while I do see the ideas it is trying to present, and I do think that they are there and prominent throughout, I do not believe they are important. I think that
Yeah.
overall, it is a quite it's not a literal movie in the sense that
Mm.
you should be taking the who Sebastian Stan is literally as what the male dating scene is from a woman perspective.
Mhm.
But I definitely think it is trying to make a comment on a number of things. How the modern dating age is. But let's just move on to
Yeah,
spoilers.
spoilers,
because I
spoilers.
think this film
You
spoilers.
you've been warned. Cannibalism. He eats people and he cuts them up and then he eats them.
She
He's a
bites
duck
his
system,
dick
and
off.
she does that.
That
is
was
also,
fucking gnarly. That was
well,
crazy.
That's just for
I
fun.
didn't see that coming. I
Don't
didn't
you
see
do that on
coming.
a Saturday? I wasn't sure if
Oof.
is it his dick or no. Is it his dick or is it his balls that he? It's probably
I
the
think
dick,
they
right?
call him dickless at some point.
I don't know if you've seen Pam and Tommy and see what.
Haven't seen
Obviously
it yet.
not real Sebastian Stan's dick, his junk, but that would have been like he could have sold that, and it's like a tiny arm from like a really skinny person.
Wow.
He's got a lot of meat there. So, it's really got really vulgar as soon as I said cannibalism. We really are diving into this. But yeah, cannibalism. That's kind of the theme that comes in. I also like the late title card introduction.
Oh, that was
about, like
so
30
good.
minutes in.
Like
Right,
30
it's
minutes
so
in.
smooth.
Oh, and it was done so well. Like it's setting up this premise. There's
Yeah.
no distractions taking you out. You are just kind of engaged with this relationship between Noah and Steve, and that was so interesting because like I didn't realize there was no title card until
Mhm.
it popped up, and I went, "Holy fuck!" And I was like, "This is way into this film," and it kind of lets you stay with them, and you're in like it makes the little twist at the title card so much more exciting, and you know you're going from one part of the story to another part. So I really
Yeah.
enjoy delayed title cards when they're done so well like this. So that was done extremely well.
Yeah, I agree because like it's I noticed this on the rewatch now that like basically he is shopping at the grocery store at the meat cute and just like basically shopping for people he can then cut up, just so fucked up in like the fresh section of the meat aisle, looking who's like getting like at the fruit place. I'm just wondering, you know, because he obviously looks for people who don't really have any relatives or a lot of friends that would go looking for them. So what do you think he does to people like
Ghost
when
them.
he figures out he can't take them, he just ghosts them, or has he had
Ghost them.
like a fifth sense about when they have dead people around them?
So it's a ghosting thing.
It's a
Why?
ghosting
'Cause
thing.
it's a comment on the modern age of dating. People just ghost people.
So
They don't want
if
to talk to them
a
anymore.
guy ghosts
So much
you, he's
easier.
probably a cannibal. Don't worry, girl. You're probably safe.
That's the
He
comment that
just
this
likes
film
to
is
eat
trying
people.
to make.
Yes, I think that's ultimately the message that you take away from this film. Was there anything that didn't work for you? Because like so far, I think most of the stuff works for me in the film. Was there anything in particular that you would be able to nitpick, or something that you didn't really enjoy as well? As
I
much?
don't think it's something that I like. I overall really enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I guess, you know, I don't like if I think about it too hard. Like she really shouldn't be able to walk for a little bit longer if she's had meat taken off of her legs, muscles in a way.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know how the human body works. So I'm really not going to comment or anything. But my personal thought was she shouldn't be able to walk immediately after that. The only thing I guess I want to talk about quickly is the wife.
Yeah.
Where does she come in this?
What do you mean?
How
like,
does
where does
she
she
come
come
into
in?
his life?
I just thought that she was basically someone similar to Noah that he connected with,
He
and
connected
maybe
with, yep.
and then she
Does she
obviously
stay
got
with him
her
because
leg
she
cut off.
fears him?
I think that's that
Or-
dynamic. But then once he dies, at the end, she still goes crazy over Noah.
Yeah.
Like, but I think that really comes from a place like less connected to well, I guess it is really connected back to Steve because she's so jealous of her, I think, in a way. I think that's what it's going for. And I think like with the comment from Molly that's like it's like people who are the problem, which is like, enabling someone to do something, supporting them is also in itself like really bad. So she was definitely a villain, but I saw her kind of tragically as like obviously a victim as well. So I think she's kind of forced to do this.
I just
She doesn't
didn't
really have a lot of
understand her
options.
place or understand her story. I just wish it was explained a little bit
Yeah.
more. And I was kind of hoping that she'd kind of betray him and be like,
I
no,
think
this is a fucked up thing
for
that you're doing. I thought it might have been
yeah,
a money thing. Like, he makes a fuck ton of money, so I
and
should stay with him. But at the same time, it's
yeah,
like, they don't explain it very well. They obviously hint that the leg has been cut off. There's been a connection there. But why
mhm.
keep her? Why have kids with her? Why does she stay around after he did this fucked up thing to her? That's
I
what I want
think
to know.
in order to explain that, maybe there was somewhere in a different script, you would have to lean more into the outside world of who is getting the shit,
Yeah.
and see how big, like you could string a whole universe of like, or powerful people like to eat people because it makes them feel powerful. And
Mm.
then you could have like something holding over her that even if she manages to escape and try to do something about it, she couldn't because there's so many powerful men that just. But then the allegory comes too much, like it would take over too much of the film. So I think in order for this to work, they kind of have to stay away from it, and she's just a bit of a one-noted character that is basically undergoing the same transformation as Noah, but probably by playing her part for a long time, she actually just, you know, I guess has Stockholm syndrome for starters for sure, and then just sees that as her only way out. But yeah, and as soon as she starts I guess a family with him, she's really locked in because now she has someone that she's
Kids.
attached to, and then yeah,
See,
I think
even
that
just having the kids, even just having her kind of like, let's just say that Sebastian Stan's character is super fucked up and say threatens the kids, like he's gonna cut up and sell the kids because there's an even darker market that wants like women, kids.
that's how
more
you
than
make
women,
human
right?
bacon.
Like lamb instead of just having it like sheep, right? You eat lamb instead, right?
Yeah.
Or chicken nuggets because they're baby
No,
chicken. Anyway.
bacon. That's how you get bacon. Yeah.
So
Bacon strips.
even more fucked up thing, but to have her have something, she's kind of like the only character that doesn't really go anywhere. Like obviously
Yeah.
Noah goes from this skip like what is he, like a nervous looking dude, to this confident doctor, to this crazy madman, to this
Mhm.
beaten up piece of filth. And Daisy kind of
Yeah.
goes from this confident-esque but not very confident to speak her own mind character and goes to this really fucked up transformation to become a very confident person and get the the bravery that she wants in a really fucked up way, but
Mhm.
she gets it. Even Jojo in a way goes from like this, she's like, do this, do that, but when she actually does that thing, she gets put into her own place. Like she doesn't, does she really do those things? And when she does do that, she gets punished for that and has the something cut off of her probably.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah,
of these
I
characters
was
have a
wondering when they
transformation, but
eat
the wife doesn't.
the boob thing. I thought that it was for sure hers, and I was like, oh, that sucks. But I guess it wasn't, right? I don't know. It was someone else's. I can't remember who it
I
was.
thought the twist
I
was
can't
going
keep
to
track.
be when she eats meat for the first time that it wasn't a human. Like it was just like a beef.
Oh, right. I thought that it was
I
just
kind
gonna
of
be her
thought that
friend.
was going to be a
it's just
thing.
Molly.
Like I thought
Yeah.
was going to be a twist where Sebastian Stan goes and she's like, "Oh my god, it just tastes so good," yada yada yada. And then Sebastian Stan goes, and you can still have her like vomiting in the toilet, and Sebastian just goes, "Oh, that's just beef,"
Right.
as a really
Yeah.
fucked up thing.
That would be a fucked up joke to do. But then it would more the like. But he is, I guess, they're playing it for he's going for what she's going for. Like he's buying into her slowly.
Yeah, I guess.
Getting that because he's probably like quite lonely the craziness
kinda
because
like in the
his wife doesn't
same-
seem content with what he does, like being a part of it. She's just his companion. But I think outside of that, she doesn't want any part of it. And having someone by his side who's like younger and new that shares like I don't know if with his wife he also brings I don't think he probably eats like human flesh at home and feeds it to
I'm
his
sure they
kid.
don't do it at home. I'm sure he saves all the food and sends it off. But like in the same
Yeah.
vein that in Windfall, when nobody says, "Is there a gun in this house?" as like a test, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool because you're putting two and two together, being like, "Oh, he's lying. He knows that he's lying now because he's seen the
Yeah.
gun." In this case, it could have been like, because he's obviously not a dumb dude. He's possibly actually a doctor. We don't. I mean, I don't know if I
Probably a
confirm
surgeon.
this.
Yeah.
He's probably a
definitely.
surgeon, and
Yeah.
he's definitely intelligent. But
Yeah.
how intelligent is he to just fall for this girl and her tricks? I feel like people would have tried that before to try to win him over.
Mhm.
He says like, "Oh, I knew you were special. That's why he had sex with her." But he's got to have precautions in place. He can't just be swept off his feet by this girl. He's still got to. He's running a business.
And,
You got to
and
have safety nets in place, dude.
no one can come in between the meat selling business. Not even
If he just
a woman.
texted Jeff Bezos to be like, "Let me distribute through Amazon," he would be making millions.
Yeah, and I guess Zuckerberg can't really help because he just eats insects as a reptile, so he's not as interested in it. But yeah. I thought that Molly, the way that she handled looking for Noah was a bit dumb, if I'm being honest. Like
Mhm.
she's out the door, like he's like standing by the door, so they probably were gonna capture her anyways. But then for her to call the number right in front of him was a bit like come on. Obviously she's gonna go there, but now I think less of the character because like I think that's something that you could easily avoid being like locked in, kind of boxed in between these two.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the twist that like the wife is in it as well.
As well.
But yeah. You know what I found also interesting was cinematography. Not that it was like I don't think it was amazing. It was very bright and very colorful.
I thought it
but,
was. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, it was super good, but it wasn't like something that was like this is one of the best shot movies of the year. It's like there was nothing crazy about it. I just thought that like the action scenes were quite dynamic and like crazy and frantic. But it comes from the same cinematographer who also did two of Ari Aster's films with Hereditary and Midsommar. So he definitely has that like horror perspective. He's done that as well, and he's done Nobody as well. So more of like the action side.
He's done 3 of Ari Aster's films. He also did The Strange Things
Oh.
About the Johnson,
He
which I love.
did do that as well. Oh,
love
right,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, so he's worked with him for quite some time. Yeah, so I think he's a great cinematographer and does some great work here. But I also found that the color grade of like how red the reds are and everything was something that was super important because I caught this at Sundance at first, and then they had like that Q&A and they talked about really having a look set in when they were shooting it. So they were shooting like you usually shoot with a LUT, not just a lookup table that already gives you kind of the look of what you're going for. And it really like kind of nailed what they wanted to go for with having like the red and the meat stand out. And it definitely did. I think it has a great look overall. Was there any like favorite scene or moment or line that you had you wanted to shout out?
When Sebastian Stan is prepping the meat for the first time.
Yes, he's just having a good old time.
Man,
Yeah.
I want to clip that and have that just be my wallpaper, just stills of him just dancing around. I just thought it was really
Yeah.
fun. I thought the music selection of this film was really awesome.
Yeah, it felt like a fucked up Studio Ghibli film the way that they were doing the production of cooking. Yeah, I thought that the meet cute thing of like the cringe line of we can meet here next week to talk about broccoli. That's like, man, I don't know what it is, but I feel like damn that is kind of funny. Like, damn you being so charming. And I think the first introduction scene at his house when she goes in and she's kind of looking for stuff is great at setting up that she's not like this naive dumb person who's just going for someone, and not like thinking of red flags or anything. Because like as far as what we've seen from these characters, there's no reason to be like creeped out because he seems pretty genuine. So he played her quite hard. Um and I guess like as soon as it's like, oh, we don't have any connection, we don't have any Wi-Fi, I'm like, oh, you are fucked now. Um but until then, I think it also like shows you that that she's paying attention to that painting as well. So it's like a lot of nice little setups that have payoffs later. Um in the kitchen especially, I think that the fight by the end of it is just so brutal and raw, and just everyone's like thrown around, and he's strong, obviously. He's like bigger than them, and doesn't have meat cut off of their limbs and butt and whatever. But like how crazy it goes, with everyone just using their whole body weight to throw each other around. I think that was a really well done action scene, because it didn't feel super choreographed. It just felt super messy. So that made it kind of grounded in a sense. I also really liked. I don't know how you felt about Paul, but I liked him pulling up to the thing and then like hearing Steve screams like, "Noah, I'm gonna fucking kill all you bitches," and he's like, "Nah, fuck this shit," and
Nah,
backs
fuck
out.
this shit. I know how
At
this
least,
movie
like,
ends.
Yeah,
That was
how this
good.
movie
I
ends.
enjoyed that.
Hey, the GPS must have fucked up. That was really funny, and then give it all to the women to fix this problem without needing like someone. Like that's also like a subtle thing of like, yeah, they don't need a man to save them now, and we also don't need a guy just to show up to die, because that happens way too much in all of these films. So you're like, someone who has nothing to do with it comes in, and you don't have any like great emotional attachment other than that, like they have nothing to do with this, and then they're just killed, and I'm just like, ah, fuck, that fucking sucks. So I'm glad that like they didn't kill Paul in this. I'm glad Paul still gets to do Manhattans and gives
sequel.
out a lot of cherries still. Yeah. Yeah, what do you want to see in a sequel? The wife comes
A
back
fucked
and
up
it's
bartender.
like, instead of a fucked up bartender who's just like telling people the story of like, yeah, I still don't know if they're dead or not. Just like someone who's rambling about that. No, imagine they come back as zombies and then they actually just want to eat human meat. That's what you do. That would be the start of the zombie apocalypse. People who are cannibals who then die, they come back to life, and then they still crave. They're just undead, but they still crave human meat, but they are just going for it. They don't care about it anymore because they've died and come back. So that's prepare, guys. You need a bunker. Um, but yeah, Lachlan, do you have any like specific red flags that you would look for? If I mean, you're not dating. I just mean general, not dating like out dating. You're in a relationship, but like, if you meet someone new, what's a red flag to you?
I don't trust people without social media.
Ooh, that's
Because
yeah.
I found it quite funny. Because funnily enough, I barely use social media, but I still have it because
Yeah.
it's a great way of finding things, and I use it for like a lot of others. Like I use Facebook for the marketplace features and stuff like that. So I use like social media not as like a way of posting stuff. I think the last time I posted on Facebook was probably about 3 years ago. And I think even Instagram was probably almost like 6 to 12 months ago that I last posted.
Yeah.
But I can tell you for a fact, anyone who doesn't have social media and says they don't use it because they hate it is a creep. Trust me, don't.
Yeah.
Red flag.
I think I agree with you on this. I also am similar. I haven't posted, I guess, on Facebook ever. I don't remember. Well, I do for like company stuff, but not like for work stuff, but not personally. But also on Instagram and any other places. I guess the only outlook, you get a lot of us in this show. I guess that's the most we do when we do it on social media. But still, yeah, it is a bit odd when someone's like doesn't use anything, because I don't want like when they're overly focused on their data being stolen and then being watched all the time, feels like they're super paranoid. So that's definitely a red flag.
That's another one.
I'll just
yeah.
People
with a cheap Samsung phone. Dude, you got like an S9. That's not cheap. It's like an S tier phone.
I was going for it a bit.
If someone comes up with like a cheap Android phone, and I look at them, I'm like,
That's I used to
Nah.
have, I used
Don't
to be
trust that.
a big red flag. I used to have the fair phone, and then it was so shit. I had
Ew.
to switch.
You had the fair phone?
There's no ethical way of being a person
Jesus.
in this. We're not getting in the good place. We're all going into the bad place.
Bad place.
Yes. But yeah, Lachlan. Now that we arrive at the end of this review, would you care to share your rating with us, please?
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Right. Hey, on the same note again, I think we're in sync because I also, like you said at the start of this review, I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of today's show. Go check out Windfall on Netflix and Fresh over on Hulu. And next week, we'll be back once the Oscars have wrapped and we know all the winners. We'll be holding out to actually, I don't know if we'll be able to do this, but we'll hold out on watching them because we'll watch them together so we can give our honest reaction for you. And for next week's show, we'll be doing post-Oscar reactions and that punishment game of getting the predictions right. So if you want to participate, you don't have to do the punishments. You just can win free of Letterboxd
You
Pro.
can as well.
So participate if you want to. You can, and then send in the video of all that would be very funny to just see like people, I don't know, like take a shot of hot sauce for no reason. Just like randomly in your inbox one day, like 3 years down the line, people just sending you videos of them chugging hot sauce. But no, that brings us to the end of today's show. Don't forget to drop those 5-star reviews over on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And if you want to keep in touch with us, you can find us on various different socials. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are on several channels on YouTube where you can find this main show as well as a clips channel. We are on Letterboxd. Lachlan and I both have a Twitter account that you can follow because we don't have red flags and actually do have social media that we rarely post on. And you can also check out the Roll That Again Film Podcast and the Ewan Graph Podcast if you want any more shows from Quiet on Set. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did, right? And no, but I guess we'll be back next week to talk about broccoli. So, see ya.
Bye.